I don't know, Trevor. They're really riled up out here. You got to get out of here.
All right. Gentlemen, dads, gamers, lend me your ears. It's time to get down to the task at hand. As you know, the year has ended. Thus, we need to compile our Games of the Year listing. I know. We're dads. We're busy keeping little things alive and don't have time to play all the games of a year. So this is the New Dad Gaming Games of the Year. The games that dads played and enjoyed the most. So fellow gaming dads, the adult beverages are poured. The kids are asleep. It's time for New Dad Gaming. And welcome everybody to our wrap-up of 2018 for the New Dad Gaming Games of the Year Award. My name is Trevor, and I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old.
And we have barely any games that we played this year.
That's right. We're all dads here. Let's be honest. We should do a backlog game of the year list. Games we want to play.
Even better would be the oldest game that we played this year.
Yes. Yeah.
Not counting retro titles.
That's right. Let's get that out in front. These are games that we've played, not games that necessarily have come out last year. So let's see what's up.
And even more importantly, it's the games that just continue to keep coming up inside of the Gaming Dad community. We saw so many games being heralded or like absolutely love this one. I love playing this one with my daughter, with my son. Yeah. You saw a lot of the same ones keep coming up. So yeah, this is very much a focus on the games that gaming dads are playing, not so much the latest and greatest from 2018. Don't worry, We'll get to those when they go to college.
Exactly.
But why don't you go ahead and kick us off there, Jeff?
Yeah, I'll start from the top. We'll come in guns blazing here. We'll do Dad Game of the Year. So the Dad Game of the Year for 2018. It's the Dad of War. It's God of War.
Absolutely.
God of War. It's a fantastic game. I'm sure you've played it. I know I have. I've completed it. I think you're there.
I'm working through it. I've had some incredible moments, enough to handily agree with this decision. And I don't know that there's many dads out there that would disagree. Like, this was such a stunning title from every facet of it. I mean, what did it mean for yourself there, Jeff, when you finally got to play it this year?
It's a dad game. There's no kids around with this game. That's for sure. Everybody knows what God of War is about and what Kratos is going to do. Just the absolute spectacle of it all. The over-the-top brutality, but along with a good father-son story. So it kind of hit home too, with a lot of those same, emotions, sentiments that you've never seen from Kratos, and then have that continue along in the narrative, in between just killing everything in sight. So just the scale of things, the climaxes of all the action, and then coming down to those somber moments, was a great game just to kind of continue along. It was something that I didn't put down. I actually cleared off everything, and that was the sole game I wanted to play. I wanted to beat, mainly for any spoilers out there. I can't have that. Everybody who's watched this show, I can't have any spoilers. So yeah, I ran through that sucker pretty quickly, and it is a great experience. Highly recommend this one to any dad out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And especially just it was such a callback and such a love letter to gamers, and especially for those of us who came up with amazing single player experiences in a year where everybody was trying to jump on the Fortnite bandwagon.
Yep.
Multiplayer online, like short experiences, mobile experiences. The AAA single player game is dead, they said. Yeah. And out of nowhere comes this masterpiece.
That's right. And even just the reaction from the director, game creator, Cory Balrog, who's also a father himself, his reaction to the critics' reviews of this, and him just like almost in tears, on the verge of tears, of just how well received everything was. It just, a lot of time and energy went into this game, and you could tell, you can see it's really a really tight, mechanically, just a really good experience, and just top tier of what is out there right now.
Yeah, so easy victory to choose. You saw that on a bunch of lists, but I think it's very fitting even for us dads, especially for us dads, because
exactly,
said, this is Dad of War. It is a dad simulator. Don't you wish fatherhood was this cool?
Yeah, that's right.
So let's go ahead and move on, though. So next topic is the best never-ending game.
Never-ending game.
So this is games that see continual development, continual cycle spin. They've been around for years, and they continue to grow and expand.
Yep.
So we have a tie on this one. So perennial favorite of a ton of the community, personal favorite of mine, No Man's Sky.
Isn't it amazing how far that game's come right now? It's making lists.
It's just a different game. Like it's unbelievable how they continue to support it. Free updates, every update that they've released, which have almost tripled, like quadrupled the content and what you could do in the game. Like underwater, freighters, fighters, brand new biomes, brand new planets and everything else, new story. Just constantly for free. These guys just did not drop it in the face of terrible controversy. This year saw massive expansions.
Yeah.
Like surprise expansions, like who wants to do a Terror Under the Deep exploration, who wants to have community events. Like they just kept going. And it's one that you saw constantly. It's one you saw constantly with the new dads and their kids, with the being super friendly that way.
Yeah, again, like even from a dad that didn't have it, and all these updated updates and patches that rolled out made me go and get the game. So it was something that I could jump into, and this is one that an 8-year-old or 5-year-old can kind of sit around, or younger, sit around and play with you. There's not much violence to it. It's kind of a chill experience, unless you're on like a survival mode and get killed by a toxic planet. But otherwise, it's a pretty,
Jeff story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much my start to it. But like the planets are varied. There's lots of color and stuff going on everywhere. Animals. So it's a really cool game. And again, like I said at the top, it's something that's come a long way from the beginning launch.
Yeah, now tied for this category, though, was a new entry that the new dads are actually still working through for a full review, because we need to do it justice. But it hooked both of us and really took us for surprise. We're talking about Warframe.
Yes.
Now, this was suggested to us numerous times by a bunch of dads. Me having dipped my toe a bit into Destiny and wanted to kind of swing over to this, and it received such acclaim. So many dads seemed to like it. And Jeff, like you had a sort of resurgence with it when it came out for the Switch all of a sudden.
Again, Switch is a great platform for this title. Again, I can pick up and play anywhere on the couch while somebody's watching Netflix in the in the bathroom. I could be attending to a kid and have it just playing on the outside. So it is it's a really, again, like you said, it gets your hooks. It gets its hooks into you, and it's something that I had picked up before that wasn't really into it, and I didn't really like Destiny at the beginning. So this one is really there's something about it that kind of keeps you there, and it doesn't look like it's too pay to win. Like, again, you can just grind it out and just have fun. Lots of people in there to help you, right? The community is great. They'll tag along to anything that you want to do and help level you up. So I've had a couple of instances of those. It's great to have help out there for dads.
Yeah, that's a fantastic point too. Like that alone, in some ways, makes it deserving of accolades, where it's free to play. This is a totally free game.
Yeah.
And if you did not buy a single thing, you can do everything. It's a ton of fun. You can upgrade it's wonderful. There's the monetization of this game is amazing. Like, it feels fantastic. It's a type of game where you're almost compelled to buy something because you want to support them, because they've done it so nicely. Nothing pay to win, nothing locked off. Just this great, amazing game. And if you want to support them, here's some amazing skins, some currency for the game. It's wonderful. It's really a beacon. And again, especially in a current Fortnite type of world, and everybody trying to cash in on free games.
Yeah.
It's something, man. So the Warframe, well deserving of best never-ending game alongside No Man's Sky.
Yes. On to best kid-friendly game. So these are the games that can be played by your kid or with your kid. And the first one, again, we have kind of a tie. The first one is no secret to anybody. It's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I don't think anyone's heard of that title. Can't recall anybody.
Small little indie title you might have heard of.
Yeah. So a game that I've played with my kids, I had to get extra Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch so that everybody could play, because it is an absolute blast. And you'd think that just a battle game is about families coming together and just fighting over things and yelling at each other. It brought us together more than any other game. It's just hilarious and fun, and we've had a lot of great moments, and the content in this game is insane, like 75 characters and 800 music tracks and tons of levels. Like, they just loaded it, they threw everything at you, and it's just a full package. So there's something there that my kids love and they'll always come back to, and it's well worth it. Worth it. So
yeah, that's amazing too. Like, I was taken aback a bit by it. Like, I expected it to be great. Like, huge fan of it. Looks amazing, but I think the embracing of it by kids and by families, because it kind of seemed like it was gonna be something a slightly more hardcore, even.
Yeah,
like it was gonna be super technical, super pro, but the embrace by families and kids and dads and moms, been fantastic. What an amazing title.
Yeah, for sure. And getting on with Mario in a race car, we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, Nintendo, I think, knows what they're doing with families. And they have some sort of, it's in their DNA to put out these family type games. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is, again, one of those games that you can play with anybody, any kid can pick it up. If they're going wrong way on the course or whatever, it doesn't matter. They're having a blast. They're seeing their little characters in little carts going around. And again, it works on all levels, even if you're just not trying to win the race. It's great for families.
Yep. So. And I think I can definitely attest to this, because as I shared on one of the episodes through the year, is my son, like, the first kind of level he's ever beaten was a Mario Kart. Mario Kart 8 specifically in store. And just like the proud gaming dad moment of standing behind him as he managed to work his way through the course and finally got through, his excitement when he did, like, he's jumping around.
Yeah.
I will say, it was really a missed opportunity not to buy the Switch then and there. To say, it's like, well, it was his first experience and he loves it.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe these awards will turn that around. You'll need a Switch. You'll need to have that happen.
Hey, two Nintendo titles on the same award. It's kind of hard to miss. But so we'll go ahead and move right on to the next category. I'm having a nap. The kids will be fine. Game.
Yeah.
No, this one, and again, we're going back to good old family-friendly Nintendo with Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Yeah, so with this one, it's something that, again, you can just go to bed, have a nap, whatever, and Captain Toad will just take care of your kids for you. Not literally, but it is the only game that I've found that there's no in-app purchases. It's cute. The kids can kind of go around in like little contained worlds. They don't ask questions. So even if they get frustrated, there's just, the game kind of has a little bit of flexibility and leeway. So it's just the perfect game just to set it up and just have the kids go.
I need my 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I got to cook dinner. I got to do laundry.
Right. Do whatever you want.
The car's on fire. I need I need 20 minutes to address that.
That's right.
Here's some Captain Toad.
Yeah, no, he's again, and he's one of those little mascots from Nintendo that just holds kids' attention. So I will totally recommend that. In terms of not so much holding attention in the 2D plane, but maybe the VR plane, we have the most puke-inducing VR game. Most puke-inducing, not the greatest, just what's going to make you turn your stomach. And that, if anyone has tried it, Wipeout. Wipeout just from name only. We'll just conjure up those images.
Yeah, again, that's one of those things where you just love to watch the reviews.
Yeah.
Where it comes in and everybody's first just over the moon ecstatic. This is unbelievable. I can't believe it. Followed up by, I was a little bit sick. It was a little hard to take. I can't believe how fast we're going. So of course, like this show has been huge on VR. Like big proponents of it, big fans of it, and to see the Wipeout series come to it, and more than just come to it unabashed, come to it unfiltered. It's like this is. Remember how crazy and absurdly fast Wipeout was? Yeah. Well, now you're in the cockpit.
Now you're in the car, exactly. And really, it is something to try out. Like, even if you're kind of wary of it, it is one of the best VR games I have ever experienced. And it does come with, like, blinders that you can put on. So there is, like, a baby stepping towards full-on VR going 400 miles per hour down a freeway. And it kind of trains you a little bit. But, yeah, it will roll your stomach if those loop-de-loops are something you've got to be sitting or something. Nobody's close to you. Just kind of plan your day out.
Like I said, it's great too. Like anybody who doubts the veracity of VR, anybody who's like, "Oh, it's not that big a deal," or "I'm not so sure." So
no.
Just let's take a quick loop around here and see.
Let's jump in.
But that transitions actually nicely to our next category for dads, and especially us dads who have jumped in to VR or PSVR. Dad was justified in buying VR. The award.
Yes.
And what's great is that, again, we have a tie for this category. We are looking at Astrobot and Tetris Effect.
Yes.
If you pay attention to VR at all, you heard about Astrobot.
Absolutely.
This was the Mario 64 for the VR generation. This game had delivered Astrobot Robot Rescue, which was just part of a demo for PSVR, was one of the stellar standout titles. Such characters, such cool animations, and little interactions, especially in the VR space. This is the full game. This is that promise realized. Everything about it is just adorable and fun and clever. And you can only do a quick search online and you see how much it's been just raved about, and even from game sites themselves, which tend to be a bit down on VR.
Yeah,
this one broke through. This one got onto a bunch of top games of the year. All the sites were super bullish on it, and deservingly so. This game was stunning.
Yes, absolutely. And from a dad perspective that has a kid that's 8 that has tried it, fell in love with it immediately. The characters in there and the way that it takes, if you've ever wondered how platforming could work in VR, this is the game to introduce yourself into. It's just something, it just works, and the way they've kind of designed the levels is intuitive for even an 8-year-old, and then can be, you can dig down and have complexities for the adult to try and figure out too. So again, it is like, I wish there was way more noise about this game, because it is like the Super Mario 64 of VR. We just need more dads to try it out. And again, there are demos, so jump in and see what it's all about, because it is one heck of a game.
Now, speaking of a demo, there's a great one that launched, and I think it resulted in a lot of purchases for VR. Another title that showed that us dads were definitely justified in purchasing PSVR or any VR system, and that was Tetris Effect.
Yeah, so, who would thought Tetris on this game?
Tetris makes it worthwhile to buy a $400 headset. Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
But here we are. Yeah. Welcome to 2019. It happened. So the general premise is around Tetris Effect, where after you've been playing the game for a bunch, you try to go to sleep, but your mind just can't relinquish it, so you're in kind of a dream state solving it. That concept put into a virtual reality. So it is an absolute trippy, crazy, mind-blowing experience where you are just inside of this visual delight. The core, foundation of it being a classic Tetris as you've always known it, but as you're solving blocks, the music is pulsing, it is picking up intensity. Shapes and figures and videos and animations are flying all around you in complete 3D space. So it's this complete audio-visual masterpiece, really, as you're playing the game you know and love so much.
Yeah, it is something really to take in. And again, I've had my kids try it out just to look at the scenery. They can't play the game because it's nuts. Like everything, like you said, everything is happening kind of at once. But just to look around, the world itself is just mind blowing. So, and then you have this puzzle game in front of you. So, it is one to experience for sure. And another kind of spouse partner game, well, we have a spouse partner game award, is another tie. So we have 2 games for the best spouse partner game, and that's Katamari Damacy Reroll and Beat Saber, which is a VR game. So Katamari, if you've never played it, I encourage you to just look up the YouTube intro.
I would love to hear you describe this.
It is, I don't even know how you go about it. You just need to experience it. It's one of those games where you need to go look up what it is. But as a gist of it, it's just you have this little ball and you're rolling up stuff in the world. And as you roll up stuff, you get bigger. And then you pick up bigger stuff. And then you keep rolling and rolling. So it is easy to pick up. It is just kooky fun. There's so much craziness in there. You're rolling up ducks and swans and sushi and whatever else is happening. So the kids have a blast with it. My wife's had a blast with it. She loves even the music, the soundtrack in it. It's just, you hum it all day, and it's just where did that music come from? So
it's a perfect just one of those things that is perfectly pieced together for a non-gamer or a spouse where they'll enjoy it, because the concept is quirky and the design is appealing and funny. It's like, oh, this looks cute.
Yeah,
the gameplay is simple to pick up, so it's like, oh, I just have to do this and this, but it's still engaging enough, like challenging enough that you want to keep doing it, so it actually gets a non-gamer kind of hooked. In this case, again, like a spouse. And yeah, between the music and the simple yet engaging and enrapturing gameplay, and the music and the design and everything else, next thing you know, you've lost your controller. You're not going to be playing for a couple of hours. Your spouse is in it, but at the same time, you're happy because now you're experiencing gaming together, which is so great.
Yeah, exactly. And another game, like with the tie, with Beat Saber, it's one that we've seen plastered across the internet where spouses have tried this new game in VR, and it's a musical game. So Beat Saber is a musical game where you basically hit the notes with lightsabers. So you have virtual lightsabers that you're hitting the notes and going to the beat. And it's a very easy one to get your spouse or partner into VR and just pick up and play, and it becomes addictive because you have these beats, you have these songs that you're going through and you're just feeling it a little bit, and then you end up all over the internet while your gaming dad takes picture of you.
Oh yeah, just when that came out, it was just Reddit and Facebook and everywhere else was just littered with, my dad or my brother or my spouse, wife, husband isn't a gamer, but here he is playing Beat Saber. He couldn't get enough. Even better, I saw some cases where it's played Beat Saber, went out and bought their own VR set. Like it ended up being such a great nailing for the system that it's like, oh, I have to now go get my own. I can't not have this game. So it's a heck of a spouse title for sure. Yeah. Now, we're all dads here. You have a ton of responsibilities. You're trying to keep little things alive despite their best efforts to the contrary. So sometimes your hands are full, or you just are not able to engage fully with a game, but you still want to get a little something in. And that's where the My Hands Are Full game category comes in. Now, for this is certainly an older title, but it really fits this category nicely and is one that I myself picked up a lot this year, and that was Rain. So this is from Devolver Digital, which is kind of interesting because that's a larger studio known for some console games, and they've taken their approach onto a mobile game. But it is ruling a kingdom via Tinder, basically, in the sense that the swipe description of it. It's a swipe mechanic. So if you go left, it's positive. If you go right, it's negative. And year over year over year, you're supposed to reign a kingdom. And will you build extra dams to protect the flood? Will you close the ports because there's a plague? Will you build extra food grains for storage for the winter? Will you marry the queen from the next castle? You do your best to keep everything kind of level. Eventually, you will not succeed and you will die. And at that point, you'll be brought back to life through mysterious forces. And for this, you should really play the game to figure it out. But you are reigning as king over and over and over and over. And as you go, like you get more and more cards, you're able to understand a bit of intrigue, and all of a sudden what kind of seems as a simple thing starts to expand quite a bit. But perfectly one-handed, perfect for pick up and play just occasionally, nothing too deep or arduous. So a great game for My Hands Are Full. Now there's a sequel too called Reigns, and which has a queen as opposed to a king. And they've also released a Game of Thrones version too for anybody who's
that sounds good.
who would like to get into that lore with the upcoming season end coming.
New season. That's perfect.
So certainly one to check out for My Hands Are Full. Reign.
Nice. Well, we've heard of a lot of great games in these awards. So now it comes to the downer, which is how dads save your hard-earned cash game category. So this is the game that you should just avoid. Just avoid. It's not worth it right now. Maybe pick it up on a sale later. But right now, just save your money. And that game, Dremel, is Fallout 76. So I know this hits you hard. You're a big Fallout fan. But
yeah, it was just it's not so much that you see common complaints where a large title wants to go online or they want to engage in some different mechanics. And I don't think that's what this is about. What this came down to is it was a bad fit. It was a bad finish in the sense that it was very underproduced. There's no content. The mechanics do not work well. There's game-breaking bugs all over the place. There's no story. So immediately that should send up huge red flags. So it's a Fallout game, great, with no story. Okay, like story and depth. There's no NPCs.
Right.
There is only like radio boxes, and it's like, okay, so the NPCs are some of the most hilarious, interesting parts of the game.
Yeah.
The story is usually fascinating and really fun to play. There's the quick time or the VAT system is like just destroyed as far as it's now kind of real time as opposed to slowing it down, which given the limitations, they had to do something, but the way they did it is not good.
Not great. So, nope.
So all that put onto something that is incredibly buggy and incredibly sparse and empty, just, it broke some hearts. It was not well received.
And I think with all the other games we've heard about, even on this list and other lists out there, there's just a lot more to spend your money on at this point that are great games, whether it be single player or multiplayer. There's just that quality is a little bit higher on those games versus something like this where it's maybe in a couple of years it'll do a No Man's Sky and it'll be the game it was supposed to be on launch. So maybe it's just a wait, save your money and come back to it later. So we'll see how they do in a couple of years. We'll check back in.
Yeah, I don't want to damn it and say that never touch it. Keep abreast of it, because obviously I think they were shook. The company was probably shooken up a little bit from this initial reaction. Yeah. So hopefully they, like you said, they pull the No Man's Sky, turn it into something that the fans, what the fans really wanted. There was a lot of excitement for it.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see, hope and see. But as you said, as of this point, save your dad money.
Save your money. Yeah.
There's a lot of other great items on this list.
There's more diapers to buy. Just save your money.
So many diapers. Just so many diapers. Everybody, that wraps it up. Like, that was an incredible year of gaming. We were able to hit some of the new titles. We were able to swing back around to older titles and kind of enjoy it. Yeah. But, as the kids grow, as the time expands, as new titles come out.
Yeah.
And as experiences between VR and any of the other systems like Switch continue to expand out, this is such an exciting place to be with gaming. Sucks that we have kids, but that's what the show is about. To try to find the right balance between having kids, playing games, and where the two should meet. But what an incredible year.
No, it's been a great year for gaming, and 2019 will be interesting to see if the next gen of consoles will be released, and we'll start this all over again. So we'll see.
So thank you so much, everybody, for listening. This has been the Gaming Dad Awards for 2018, and more specifically, this has been New Dad Gaming. If you'd like to get a hold of us, would you like to tell us about how great our list was, or how terrible we did and what we missed? We'd love to hear from you either way. You can find us on our website at newdadgaming.com, on our Facebook group, on Instagram, and on Twitter. Reach out to us any way you like. If you'd like to subscribe to the podcast, you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and any of the other podcasting services. Until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have a couple awards, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, and a lot of those games that are on the list.
Yes, surprise, surprise. And a new reason to keep owning your VR and maybe a Switch.
That's right. Yeah, let's see.
We'll see you next week.
See you later.